We're going to now, without further ado, introduce our next speaker, and thank you so much for those who are joining us from some of the other breakaway rooms. Our next speaker is Chervaune Utermöhlen. Chervaune is going to speak on the BRICS, which is very topical at the moment, and she'll expand more on her topic. Just to give a brief introduction on Chervaune, Chervaune is an associate in our commercial property and litigation section. She attained her BA and LLB degrees at the University of Pretoria in 2016 and 18, respectively, and was admitted as an attorney last year. Very happy that you're here, Chervaune. Please, can you grace us?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. As Cohen mentioned earlier, my topic for this year is When Life Gives You Bricks, Build a Sturdy Foundation. So today we'll be discussing or taking a closer look at the BRICS Summit that occurred this year in Johannesburg and what it means for South Africa and her future. So, as Narendra Modi, India's Prime Minister, recently stated, BRICS must provide a united, clear voice in shaping a peaceful, balanced, and stable world. It means that it must harness each other's strengths, knowledge, and skills and resources. This quote clearly and concisely embodies the key spirit and purpose of the BRICS bloc. So what is BRICS? In 2001, global investment bank Goldman Sachs stated that it expected Brazil, Russia, India, and China to become leading actors in the global economy. It collectively named these four economies BRIC. South Africa was invited to join the BRICS bloc in December 2010, resulting in the acronym BRICS. These countries have since leaned into the name and have formed a geopolitical and economic bloc. Together, the group accounts for more than 40% of the global population and a quarter of the global economy. Since its inception, BRICS has had a positive effect on the international system. The collective power of these nations impacts global dynamics and drives economic growth and development. So while I'm sure most people sitting here today, have heard about the BRICS bloc, how many of us actually understand its purpose? Well, don't get Google out just yet, I got you. The primary purpose of BRICS is to establish a platform and dialogue of cooperation amongst member countries to reform global economic governance. By leveraging each nation's unique strengths, the BRICS seeks to achieve several objectives. Firstly, economic growth and development, multilateralism, innovation and technology, and infrastructure development. The BRICS Alliance also aims at contributing significantly to the development of humanity and establishing a more equitable and fair world order. So with its purpose in mind, the next question to consider is what the BRICS bloc aims to achieve. Primarily, it aims to challenge Western dominance in the global economic system, including institutions such as the World Bank and United Nations. The group has called for a reform of international financial institutions and a need for a stable and diversified international monetary system. BRICS leaders have also floated the idea of a global common currency to move away from the reliance on the US dollar. The increasing countries' interests in joining the bloc highlights cracks in the Western-led international system and is a strong indicator of ongoing dissatisfaction within certain led institutions. In addition, in the midst of the current global economic crisis, many countries are looking to BRICS members as a new locomotive for global economic growth. More than 40 nations, including Algeria, Egypt, Thailand, and the UAE, have formally expressed interest in joining the BRICS bloc. This then begs the question, why? An important factor to consider are the milestones that the BRICS bloc has achieved. Firstly, in 2014, the group established the New Development Bank as its flagship financial project to rival the likes of the International Monetary Fund and World Bank. The NDB is a multilateral development bank that provides for infrastructure and sustainable development projects in member countries and other developing countries. The bank, which is headquartered in Shanghai, China, has a subscribed capital of over $50 billion. Secondly, the BRIC has also set up the Contingent Reserve Arrangement, or the CRA. This is a financial safety net that provides short-term liquidity to member countries in the case of balance of payment difficulties. This arrangement has a total size of $100 billion, with each country, or member country rather, contributing in equal shares. The economic potential and demographic development are putting BRICS countries in a legal position in setting the global agenda. So what does this mean for South Africa? BRICS membership is in line with South Africa's foreign policy objectives of strengthening South-South relations. South Africa joined BRICS with 3 objectives in mind. Firstly, to advance its national interests. Secondly, to promote its regional integration program and related continental infrastructure programs. And lastly, to partner with key members of the South on issues related to global governance and its reform. South Africa is a significant producer of platinum, chrome, and gold, and offers highly sophisticated mining-related professional services, contributing significantly to the BRICS resource pool. The demand from BRICS countries for these commodities has been a critical source to support growth on the African continent. South Africa's invitation to join BRICS recognizes the country's contribution to shaping the socio-economic regeneration of Africa. For South Africa, being a member of BRICS holds significant implications for its economy, which includes the influence of our currency and exchange rates, as BRICS members' interactions influence the value of our South African rand. BRICS business opportunities. For instance, MTN's presence in multiple BRIC nations showcases potential for cross-border business growth. Finance and investment opportunities, as it promotes investment flows between member nations. And finally, job creation, as collaborative projects and increased trade can stimulate employment opportunities. So with that in mind, let's take a look at some of the key takeaways from the 15th BRICS Summit. The theme for this year's summit was centered around Africa, and August 22nd marked the start of the 15th BRICS Summit in Johannesburg, South Africa. One of the biggest key takeaways from this year's summit is the potential of an alternative to the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunications. Now, I know that's a mouthful, but luckily we commonly refer to it as the SWIFT system. For those who don't know, the SWIFT system is a dominant banking system that facilitates cross-border transfers and payments between different countries. Perhaps the most eagerly anticipated topic of the summit was the creation of the BRICS currency. As of now, however, this remains an aspiration for the group and has yet to be officially adopted by the bloc. The BRICS summit also admitted 6 new nations to the bloc, including Saudi Arabia, Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, and the UAE. It is worth mentioning that the inclusion of leading oil producers in the world in the BRICS bloc increases its economic might. The BRICS summit marks a tremendous shift in the world economy, but what does this all mean for our country? The intention is clearly to accelerate a push towards a new world order, while still transforming international existing institutions and advancing trade and investments for and amongst its member countries. Firstly, the addition of oil-rich countries like Saudi Arabia is particularly important for South Africa, as it opens up opportunities to develop and strengthen bilateral trade relations. Given South Africa's current energy crisis and the need for more foreign investment to stimulate economic growth, an expanded BRICS could be part of the solution to some of South Africa's current challenges. Secondly, China has agreed to pump $14 billion, or roughly 196 billion rand, into South Africa over the next few years. The investment deal also featured a loan to Eskom in the amount of roughly 33 billion rand. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds like a lot of electricity. South Africa is often viewed as a gateway to the rest of the African continent, and it is well positioned to benefit more from an expanded BRICS. With its developed logistics infrastructure, including world-class ports, airports, and its well-developed financial system, South Africa can serve as a conduit through which the rest of the world can connect with the continent for trade opportunities. Thirdly, the South African Nuclear Energy Corporation and Rosatom Healthcare, which is the healthcare division of the Russian state-owned nuclear corporation, have signed an agreement on the cooperation in the sphere of non-power related uses of nuclear technology. The parties plan to construct a commercial cyclotron in South Africa to further increase the production capacity of nuclear medicine and to produce various radiopharmaceuticals. A memorandum of understanding was also signed by all BRICS members to ensure closer collaboration in the promotion of matters related to air quality, water, climate change, and waste management. Finally, the Johannesburg Declaration was signed and features 102 individual commitments signed by all 5 countries that vows to support each other in tackling issues from terrorism to drought. Most notably, the BRICS are looking to establish their own credit ratings agency to challenge the likes of Moody's. So yes, I'm sure you're sitting here wondering, but what about me? Well, BRICS offers South Africa countless opportunities to improve the lives of its own people. Firstly, by enhancing job creation and employment, BRICS economic cooperation and trade agreements can create job opportunities. Secondly, by increasing trade and market access, BRICS can give ordinary South Africans access to more goods and services. This can increase product variety, product quality, and price. Affordable BRICS goods can improve consumer welfare as well as the living standards within the country. Thirdly, BRICS promotes entrepreneurship and small business development. South Africans can start businesses, access funding through the BRICS Business Council, and job entrepreneurship programs and networks. This can enable self-employment, job creation, and is crucial for economic growth. By harnessing the collective potential of each country, the Alliance strives to create a multipolar world that reflects the interests of emerging economies as well. In navigating a prosperous future, BRICS clearly holds immense promise for South Africa's economic growth, offering avenues for collaboration, trade, investment, and development. As South Africa continues to play an active role in BRICS, the economy stands to benefit from increased business opportunities, strengthened currency stability, enhanced investments, improved infrastructure, and the creation of much-needed jobs. As a prevailing force, the impact and influence of BRICS in the global economy is one to be reckoned with. And as President Barack Obama said it, change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. Thank you.
Hello. Okay, yes. Thanks so much, Chervaune. That was extremely insightful. Perhaps one question that I maybe have is, what do you say about Russia's membership? Of course, not to be too controversial, but do you have any thoughts about the impact of Russia's on BRICS?
Yeah, I think naturally it is quite a controversial topic, but let me just start by saying that Russia is still a member of BRICS. And for those who don't know, President Vladimir Putin did attend virtually and sent one of his foreign ministers to attend in person. If you're wondering why, it's because the International Criminal Court has a warrant out for his arrest. Because we are a member of the ICC, by virtue of him stepping foot into the country, we would have to comply with the arrest warrant. And so I think in these moments, it's important to know that the BRICS summit is generally a value-free sort of organization, and they try have a non-interference or take a non-interference approach. And in that way, it allows countries with different policies, with different, for example, governments, it allows those countries then to sort of focus on the key purpose of being in the BRICS membership in the first place. And it also allows them to have access to BRICS during things like sanctions and stuff. So yeah, I'm not going to say too much on the involvement and specifically within the Ukraine context, but yeah, I mean, they are still a member of the BRICS bloc as things stand.
Thanks so much, Chervaune. Any questions from the house in the room? Yes, question there.
Just one comment about the idea of a common currency.
Yes.
Anybody who's tried to run an economy knows that there are two policy aspects which have to be coordinated. You have to coordinate your monetary policy, and you have to coordinate your fiscal policy. If you try and have a single BRICS currency, it will imply that you have to have a common fiscal policy, which quite frankly will be impossible given the different members of the BRICS. So the idea of a common currency is a non-starter in my view, and the fact that our leaders are seriously talking about it makes me question the quality of their thinking. The second issue is that I'd like to raise is, why is there this excitement about BRICS when there is an alternative, there's another foreign policy initiative which is far more exciting and has far more potential for opportunity. And I'm talking about the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. This is an opportunity for real cross-border economic development, really boosting trade within Africa, Africa helping fellow Africans. And for some reason, there isn't adequate emphasis on this as a foreign policy initiative.
Okay, thank you. Well, I just want to comment on that the comment with regards to the common currency. So there has been discussions as to how this would work, obviously, because every country has different interest rate policies and GDP generation, etc. So for the countries have spoken about creating a commodity-based currency, so you're trading in things like gold and resources as opposed to an actual currency. But with regards to the need for it and the reason they're trying to develop it is because they're trying to step out of that US influence and trying to step away from the reliance on the US dollar. With regards to your second part of the comment, I think it's a very good question. And I mean, I can look into that and provide you with a response, but my focus today was particularly on the BRICS bloc, as I find that quite interesting. And I think it was quite a relevant topic, but thank you.
Thank you, Chervaune. Thanks so much.
Thank you.